Welcome to your second fan-requested Friday matchup of the day. Eugen Sandow versus Bobby Pandour. Well, James Norman, this is an awesome, outstanding comparison, and I have done a video comparison with these two before, but I did not call it, I did not judge it. It is very hard to say with the picture quality that we are given, but we're going to give it the old college try. Why not, eh? Anyway, the lag development of Bobby Pandour, it is plain to see that he will get an edge in that area, although you must admit that Eugen Sandow has a definite edge in that upper body. He is the bigger, more powerful man for sure, but this is a front relaxed. Let's head on into another version of the front relaxed. A lot of versions of the most muscular do these guys hit. And like I said, those legs of Bobby Pandour. And back then, these two never competed because there was no real bodybuilding. There was flex display performances, I guess you could call it, but it always went along with strength performances and power lifts, in which case Bobby Pandour would have probably lost to Eugen Sandow each and every time, so they were never really matched up. But strictly speaking, as a bodybuilding comparison, Bobby Pandour, better condition it appears. Look at the wide clavicle of Eugen Sandow, and on the contrary, a very narrow one for Bobby Pandour, so that could be an advantage for Sandow as well. Both of these gentlemen, I would wager to say, guaranteed, they're a natural athlete. I can imagine at the turn of the century, there was not too many drugs around. Here is like I said, there's a lot of versions of the most muscular, and this is what I mean about that narrow clavicle of Bobby Pandour that could hurt him in a bodybuilding competition. And look at those shoulders, those delts of Eugen Sandow. You can really see where he got that power from. Both gentlemen just fantastic in the ab development, and that is funny when you think about it. Both of these guys would probably beat anybody on today's Olympia stage on the ab development alone. Just fantastic, natural little belly buttons you can see there. You don't see too much of that nowadays, or should I say nowadays, plural. Either way, front double bicep pose. This is not fair for Pandour. He's not striking the pose, and on the contrary, Eugen Sandow, fantastic. I noticed when I was looking through the picture galleries of Eugen Sandow, there was many of him in his prime when he was younger and a lot when he was a little older. Here's another one of Pandour, and you can really see the bicep development of the man. But, I mean, come on, look at Eugen Sandow. And like I was saying, there's a lot of maybe older versions of Sandow and not nearly as good as shape. This is a prime time, uptown, downtown Eugen Sandow. But still, the lag development of Bobby Pandour doing battle with the great Eugen Sandow. This is a single arm bicep, and I believe this is an even younger picture of Sandow. Look at his face. Not to mention, he is more ripped, but not quite as large. Very ripped is Sandow here. But equally ripped is Bobby Pandour, and I believe this is a little later on in his career. He looks like he's a 35-year-old man here, and he looks much thicker than Eugen. Look at the arm development. So when you look at this as an objective bodybuilding observer, it looks like Bobby Pandour definitely has an edge in the muscularity alone. Of course, that structure of Eugen Sandow with the wider clavicle. A little bit taller as well. I believe he was 5'9", Pandour 5'6". But still, Bobby Pandour is battling back and forth. He is boxing with Eugen Sandow. Here's a side tricep of both gentlemen. It almost appears that Bobby Pandour is Eugen Sandow in this picture. He had to take all discretion when making decisions on this because there was a lot of old-timey pictures that could have honestly been either man. There was some back developments that said it was Bobby Pandour, but I wasn't quite sure, so I didn't go with them. And to be honest, going through all these old pictures, it's almost haunting, guys. There's chills going through my body right now. Oh, sweet Jesus cream, yeah. What was that? I just disappeared and reappeared. Anyway, nobody will believe me. Well, I might as well judge this. I'm here. This is the most muscular of both gentlemen. Wow, that was freaky. Anyway, you can see that narrow clavicle is going to hurt Bobby Pandour in this one, but food for thought. There was no lag picture of Eugen Sandow in this one, and there was for Bobby Pandour, and his legs looked outstanding. A little bit different in the ab development between these two, but equally good for sure. But like I said, that narrow clavicle will definitely hurt Pandour in a shot like this. We are very fortunate enough to have an ab and thigh comparison, actually. Pandour, I believe he was holding on to some sort of gymnastics rod or pole. That's what he was. He was like a gymnast, I think, before he got into his flex display performances. A lot of artists would pay big money to paint him and photographers to take pictures of him. He made a good career, and Eugen Sandow, a very, very wealthy man at the time, and both of them rich in ab development, for sure. And it is a little bit of a different type of ab setup, so it's a pick'em, take your pick. But as far as the lag development is concerned, this is a no contest, a no-brainer if you ask me. Bobby Pandour is the superior man, when it comes to an ab and thigh shot, that is. Here's the crab, most muscular, actually. They're both hitting it to spec, really. I kind of prefer the way that Pandour is striking it. He's showing the muscular development of the pecs and the arms a little bit better. And Eugen Sandow, you know what he's doing. He knows he's the bigger, more powerful man, and if they were going to do a pose down, he'd move his elbows out and he'd bump Pandour off the stage. He'd let him know that he was the bigger, stronger man. Of course, if it was nowadays, they wouldn't be able to get away with that type of stuff, and they would judge it fairly. And it's still a good contest, I'm here to tell you. And it's such a different type of pose that it is hard to tell, really. Here's, I guess, maybe fourth most muscular, I guess, that I did in this competition. It was hard to get the sizes correctly. Pandour's crouching down. He's pulling at something. And to be honest with you, it looks like Sandow's pulling something as well, but he's not, so get your minds out of the gutter. Eugen Sandow actually looks a little bit better in this one. He looks more strided, more conditioned as well. It's a nice most muscular. To be fair, Pandour, he's not really striking a pose. Like I said, he's probably pulling a horse or a goat, maybe a cow, something heavy. So, at the end of the day, it is very difficult to say for sure who was the better bodybuilder, and it is definitely plain to see that Eugen Sandow is the more renowned athlete for that sport, and he is much more famous. But speaking as an objective observer, not knowing who either of these two are, I believe Bobby Pandour may have scored an edge over Eugen Sandow in this contest. And there was always the back development for Eugen Sandow, which he was strong in that point. And there was some pictures of Pandour that I was not 100% sure that it was him. But anyway, this is a fan-requested Friday matchup, and I have to pick a winner. Bobby Pandour, in my opinion, edged out a slight victory, against Eugen Sandow in a bodybuilding competition. And that's remarkable when you think about it, because not too many people know who Bobby Pandour is, and that's a shame. Hope you guys enjoyed this fan-requested Friday matchup. Get your request in. If you look in the comment section below and you don't see a request yet, go ahead and get it in, and you will get it played next Friday. Hit thumbs up on this classic comparison, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Have a great day.